Global rising organized crime continue to escalate as law enforcement agencies crack down on high-profile kidnapping and armed robbery syndicates across the country. Recent arrests from Imo to Lagos State reveal an alarming trend of criminal networks operating within local communities and extending beyond national borders. In Imo State, the traditional ruler of Uba community in Awara or Hajiegbe local government area, Eze Andrew Okwegbuwa, was arrested for allegedly orchestrating kidnapping and armed robbery activities within and outside his domain. His arrest has sent shockwaves through the community, which came as part of a larger operation by the Imo State Police Command to dismantle criminal syndicates operating in the region. Paraded alongside other suspected kidnappers, including a native doctor believed to provide spiritual protection for the group, Eze Okwegbuna's alleged involvement highlighted the disturbing pattern where individuals in position of authority are implicated in criminal enterprises. The Imo State Police Command has intensified its investigation, vowing to prosecute all those involved and restore public trust in traditional institutions. Community leaders and residents have equally expressed outrage and disappointment over the development. It is disheartening to see someone meant to protect the community become a threat instead, said a local youth leader who spoke under anonymity. This betrayal weakens our trust in the traditional leadership system. Similarly, operatives of the Lagos State Police Command arrested two Pakistani nationals, Roman Go, 19, and Aftab Ahmad, 28, for allegedly kidnapping a fellow Pakistani for ransom. The suspects, along with 5 accomplices who remain at large, lured the victim from Kano to Lagos under the guise of offering him a job as a chef. After receiving a distress call, police rescued the victim and apprehended the suspects. This case underscores the growing sophistication of criminal networks and raises concerns about community safety, the abuse of trusted positions, and the increasing presence of international criminal elements in local crimes. What are your thoughts on this report?
Kidnapping. Imo State governor should learn from what Soludo is doing in Anambra State. And naming the traditional stew or joining the traditional stew with issues of kidnapping means something is really wrong with all levels of leadership. You know, before all these governments getting into appointing traditional rulers and the rest, when we did the history of Nigerian mass media as level 100 students, when we were told of how traditional rulers came about before the advent of Christianity.
Right.
When we believed in the gods, in Igbo land we say Amadioha. Before one climbs on the stool of being a traditional or sits on the stool of being a traditional ruler, you must have gone through a lot of spiritual what have you there. It begs me to ask this question: should we go back to that system where they say you must be pure, your hands must be clean, and all of them before you are proclaimed the traditional ruler of any community? Should we? It begs the question: should we go back then? Really, because when you start hearing such news that a traditional ruler is the one orchestrating kidnapping, you now ask yourself, which community, which people do you belong to? Because if that traditional ruler is from my community, that means I'm not going back to that community anymore. Because the traditional ruler, it's in charge of my security in that community.
It's meant to be taxed with it.
Just like we say President Tinubu is the chief security officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Every traditional ruler is the chief security officer of that community. And now you are being tied to kidnapping. Means no soul is saved in that place. And one thing about kidnapping, I will always say it anywhere, kidnapping is always successful because there is an insider. If any member of a family is kidnapped, I expect the police to start interrogation within the family. It is from there you will get clue to whosoever or whatever entity kidnapped that person. So for a traditional ruler to be involved, or allegedly to be...
He was paraded, actually.
Okay, he was even paraded.
He was paraded.
There's no more allegedly. That means he is. Means the people of that community, they are not safe. So how did he even become? How did he get to that stool? So those questions need to be asked and answers need to be given. We need to know, or probably change the modalities of electing or appointing a traditional ruler. If a traditional ruler is the one orchestrating kidnap, means probably he was doing it before he got to that stool. So we need to investigate all these characters before we make anyone, even in our governments. Before one person comes to say, I want to be local government chairman, I want to be a councillor, I think that person's life has to be scrutinized. We have not fixed our own. So they are coming here to continue to perpetrate the same crime we are perpetrating as traditional rulers, as people in power. So they are coming to take their own part of the cake too. If a Nigerian can, if a traditional ruler can do it, okay, means there's no law and order in that place. Let's go and try it. And again, I say it is because of the glorification of wealth. That's it.
So what do you think can be done to fix this problem?
We'll go back to the government. I can't say fund our police or fund Nigerian police. No, I think we've heard too much of funding Nigerian police too much. I think we need to have a reorientation of the entire system itself. The Nigerian police force, in fact, all of them. We should have a reorientation. We should have a retraining of all our armsmen. They seem to have forgotten why they are there. Of traffic there. When the boy came and he had dreads. We are leaving what we should focus on and looking at young men carrying dreads. Our definition of a young man with dread is that he's a what? He's a Yahoo boy. So if my son comes back from school and is with dread, I should also call him what? A Yahoo boy. We should go back to why we have the Nigerian police force and do the right thing. So I think one way of correcting this issue is not really correcting, or bringing it to the barest number, lowest number ever, is for our Nigerian police force to have a reorientation and a retraining of why they are in the force.
Thank you so much for your